Well, it's episode 4. So we're in the car and we are trying to leave downtown New York City. And as we're trying to leave downtown New York City, Lucy's in the car, she's bashing her head. I'm trying to comfort her. I'm watching the buildings come down behind us. The driver's trying to keep it together and get us out of there, because if 2 towers that were 100 stories high just crumbled down, can you imagine how far that debris stretched? How much chaos, how much smoke, how much soot, how much everything that went everywhere around us was. I can't even put into words what that moment was like. I remember it so vividly. And I do have BPD. I do have borderline personality disorder because of how it's been a struggle for me my whole life with all of my issues, and I've disassociated these issues. And I don't remember a lot of things because they get disassociated. But this is one thing, dang it, I remember. Poor Lucy, just Lucy. Well, here goes our driver trying to make this trek, and he had to go from from the bottom of New York, the island, up to Times Square. We stopped at the Hilton Times Square at 42nd Street, where the kid's dad worked. And we stopped there, and we let him know what was going on. So he worked security there. So we let him know what was going on, and we let him know we were going to have to leave there, and we were bringing her home and then get me home, right? He knew he was going to have to stay in. He's security. Security in New York is a very different kind of security than here. It's like talking on your things and your things, like goody code. Yeah, like it's a serious big deal, right? So we let him know that we were going to take Lucy home. And this was after the planes went down. So what was that? 11-ish maybe in the morning? I don't know. I tell you, the times are vague to me. And we let him know, and then we make our way across to Long Island. We get over to Long Island. It takes us till nighttime, because I remember it being dark by the time we got there. So that tells you how many hours and hours and hours and hours and hours it took us to get her home from what time we left downtown. That's how much chaos we had to go through. That's how much stuff, hours and hours and hours of it, that it prolonged our drive to get her home. I remember getting to Lucy's home. Lucy Jones is her name, and I'll keep saying it because I hope to find her still. I got Lucy Jones home, and I remember getting to her house. We pulled up. We let her out. She was okay. She said she could walk to the door. I watched her walk up to the door, and her mother open it. And I've never seen Lucy again. Lucy just walked into the house, and that was it. Let me wet my whistle. So Lucy walks into her home, and that's the end of it. Well, now the driver of this car has to somehow get me home. Well, you understand, okay, we're downtown Manhattan. We went up Midtown and all the way over here to Long Island. And now we got to go all the way from Long Island to Midtown, across Manhattan to New Jersey is where I live. Manhattan is now shut the effing nuggets down, y'all. Manhattan was shut down at this point. Like New York just was on the lockdown. No in, no out, no trains, no buses, no planes, no helicopters, no bridges, no nothing was open to vehicles driving all around like that. Hell to the nah. So he tried very hard to get me there, and he could not get over into Manhattan, so he had to drop me off. He got me as close as he could, and then he dropped me off. And after he dropped me off, I cannot even tell you. It had to be an act of God, because I can't even tell you. Somehow I got from that side across into New Jersey. Now I know that once I got to a certain part in Manhattan, my best friend Edwin got me and brought me across to my home in New Jersey. So somehow I got into Manhattan through whatever form I did. If it was walking, it had to be walking, catching a ride. I don't know what I did. I don't. But somehow I got to him in the middle of Manhattan, or up like Harlem, and then he took me over above Manhattan area, like where we could. Not way down here anymore. I don't know if any of that made sense. And I don't even know how I did it. It is a blur. It is a blur. But I got home like after midnight on 9/11, turning into 9/12. I got home after midnight. Midnight, 1 a.m. And Edwin went home. And I stayed in there by myself. Cerrito, the kid's dad, was in Manhattan being security. My mom had my daughter Haley, because she picked her up at daycare on 9/11 that day, because I couldn't get in to get her. Or she didn't bring her in, I don't think. I don't even remember. See? That little detail, it's like it doesn't matter in the scheme of things. And I sat there and I didn't know how to deal with it. But I did know that my mama taught me that when there's a crisis, we run to the crisis and we help. We don't run from the crisis and hide. And so I did what my mama taught me. And I got up the next morning only a few hours later. It was still 9/12 at this point. And I got my butt up and I made my way across into New York City again to a place called the Javits Center, where they were taking the volunteers. And that's where we're going to start the story of 9/12, where I became no longer a survivor, but a actual responder of the pile at Ground Zero. And we'll start there on episode 5. Thank you.